Hello everyone, FredRex2007 here. Welcome back to another movie review of my channel, once again. And as you can see, I have a Pennywise shirt on. That means I went out to see It Chapter 2. And what do I think of it? I'm gonna tell you about this in a minute. I'm gonna tell you about it in a second, though. I am gonna put up some spoilers, a spoiler discussion in this review, so I'm just gonna let you know that to those who haven't seen the film yet. So to those who haven't seen it yet, you should definitely just click off this video now or watch this if you don't care. So basically, this movie, it was crazy, it was scary, very funny, it was very thrilling. I thought it was great. I liked it. I really did like it. I really did enjoy it. Very entertaining for a very scary movie that's 3 hours long, and it just gives you so much humor. Like, it just has so much humor into it. Like, basically, Bill Hader as adult Richie, like, he basically takes everything away throughout this whole movie. Like, literally, like, seriously, like, adult Richie Tozier, played by Bill Hader, like, he is... I do understand that he's one of the most talented adult actors right now, but when he plays as adult Richie, like, don't get me wrong, he did good. He did very good as adult Richie. Like, basically all the adult actors did great. Like, the adult losers, they captured, like, a single moment. Like, not a single moment, but the adults, they did great acting to the adult losers, like in the novel. And let me tell you something, like, the adult losers are definitely way better than the adults in the miniseries. Like, basically, they are awful. Like, the adults were just so terribly bad that's just so, you know, corny and entertaining at the same time in the 1990 miniseries. But let me tell you something, like, okay, throughout It Chapter 2, it's not better than the first one, not better than Chapter 1, but literally, I still love both of them, you know? But literally, like... But I do guess that It Chapter 2 is actually far superior than the second parter in the miniseries, of course. It was just so scary, so entertaining, so thrilling. Like, it's just so... like, god awful. Like, so, like, very entertaining, so scary. Like, it's just everywhere throughout the whole movie. Like, they just... like, literally... I know that the director, Andy Muschietti, is trying to put up, like... trying to bring it put it out justice, more better than the miniseries, but he just brings out everything in this movie to be, like, try to be, you know, very cliche, very better, like, far superior than the 1990 miniseries. Like, basically, that's what he was trying to do, like, try to make the It story, like, a reboot, or a theatrical, like, two-parter film, like, very better, like, than the TV film back then. Like, literally, this movie was so entertaining. Like, it's just, like, literally, this movie will just scare you. Like, you're gonna be scared out of your boots for this. Like, literally, like, this movie is filled with jump scares. This movie is filled with creatures everywhere. Like, when there's jump scares, there are so many creatures that Pennywise shapeshifts into, and it was just so good. And basically, Pennywise himself, like, Bill Skarsgård Pennywise, like, his return as the evil clown himself, like, he did really good. He did the same thing like the first chapter. But the thing is, like a lot of people complain that this movie barely has Pennywise moments in it, but this movie does fairly have some Pennywise moments, but most of everything in this movie is just filled with CGI, like high-budget CGI to make it look better. Like, literally, when I came out of the theater, I was like, what the frick did I just watch? It was just so good. Like, so entertaining. Like, not bad. Well, basically, like, people say it's so bad. Like, god-awful. Like god-awful that it's just very entertaining. Like, they say, but... this movie is just so... like, so good. Like, this movie is just so entertaining. I have nothing else to say. Like, this movie is just so good. It was great. I love it. Like, literally, like, Pennywise himself, like, he does have his great moments. Like, he has some good quotes. Like, some of the lines that he says is really good. And even the adult actors, like the adult losers, and even all the other returning characters and new characters, they're pretty good. Like basically, some of the new characters, like basically like in a novel in the miniseries, you know, Bill's wife, famous actress, you know, Audra, like basically, you know, Bill's wife. She doesn't get that much screen time in the film. Basically, like it got me disappointed about Audra, like you know, Bill Devereaux's wife. And literally, you know, and Beverly's abusive husband, Tom, and even I do understand that like it's great to see Henry Bowers to return. Like basically everyone was just wondering like how did he survive that fall since the first movie? Like he literally just fell down in the well. Until then, you know, he's okay. He returned. Like literally, this is such a great film. Okay, this is a very very entertaining film. Even when it gets all the way to the ending, to the final battle, when they're doing the ritual of Chud, which they're supposed to do, and throughout the whole movie, they literally do not want to do the turtle situation, though, because, you know, the giant turtle in the book, literally, it would be very confusing if they ever did add the turtle in the new movie, so, it's good, it's okay that they didn't add the turtle, but they put in a few, you know, cameos of the turtle, like the turtle that created the universe and created Pennywise himself. And the thing is, like, the way that they explain of how Pennywise, the backstory of Pennywise, like, where did he came from, how did he came to Earth, you know, down and living down into, underground into Derry, Maine, throughout billions of years, hibernating every 27 years. And literally, this movie was just so confusing by that point, like, when Mike Hanlon's trying to, like, focus, like, about the backstory of Pennywise, and how, you know, around since the 18th century when he came, and even when the people were doing the ritual of Chud, and basically, you know, throughout the whole movie is just basically, like, I got very confused about the ritual of Chud. Like, literally, like, that's literally one of the only things that how the adults, the losers defeated Pennywise in the novel, but it never happens in the miniseries. It's quite confusing. I got disappointed by that. It was confusing that the ritual of Chud wasn't that much, you know, into the movie. Until then, throughout the whole movie, it's just so bad. Like, so good that it's so bad that it's good. Like, very entertaining. Like, it was trying to be scary, but also being funny and very humorous around some parts. And even, one of the things that disappointed me, the movie was just so quick-paced. Like, basically, when you get stick into the movie, like, the movie's literally 2 hours and 45 minutes long. Like, you get stick into the movie, time flies, and the movie just ends really quickly. Like, it's a very quick-paced movie, which is kind of surprising. And even the scariness, like, the horror inside the film wasn't that much. Like, they do show most of the horror in this movie, but the rest of the movie is just so much. This is so funny, because Bill Hader as adult Richie, this is so funny. He put up so many jokes. But literally, in the movie, I gotta stop saying that. Literally, the whole movie is just so scary, so funny at the same time. Like, literally, it does far from that. Like, they're trying to do it so, they try to make it so scary. Like literally, like, the movie, like, basically the movie is kind of scarier. This movie is scarier than the first one. Because basically, in the first, like, since It Chapter 1, like, this is since 2017 when it gets very funny and scary. But in this movie, it gets very, very out of hand. Like, it gets so scary, it gets so funny. Like, there's creatures, like, roaming around the parts in the scenes of the movie. And even when Pennywise makes his appearance, like, sometimes he does make his good quotes, good appearances. And in the book, you know, and everybody is disappointed about Pennywise was barely in the movie, because it's supposed to be like that, because in the novel, Pennywise makes his short appearances with the adults. So, that's accurate, right? Because I read half of the novel. I already know what's going on, okay? You don't have to judge me about it in the comments below, okay? So anyways, this movie, like, okay, the spoilers, when it gets to the ending of the movie, of the final fight, when the adults came over to do the ritual, like, when they came back to the well house, and then they see, you know, they went underground, and they went down to the old ancient tunnels where Pennywise crash-landed, like, basically, the spot where he crash-landed underground, and Pennywise was literally appearing when he was the deadlights in the ceiling of the caves, because that's what he really is in the novel. He's really the deadlights. But the human minds can see him as a giant spider, so that's what they're seeing him like what he really is into their world, you know. Because if to those who read the book, to those who haven't read the book, you wouldn't understand about it. But you know, because the book, like, it does make sense. Like it tries to make sense in the second chapter, but it does it so corny and cheesy and great. It's so great. Even when Pennywise gets into his final form when he's a spider, it's like they show his final form as a giant spider in CGI. Literally, I don't want to put up so much detail about him as a giant spider. It was so cool, so corny, that I loved it. Like, literally, it's very thrilling, very scary, suspenseful, and it gets to the ending when, you know, somebody, the adult losers get killed off, and it's very sad. Very sad, and until then, all the way to the ending, you know, the adults are free. When he ran out of the well house, it just crashed down into pieces. Like, literally. Like, it gets to the ending when they start going back to the quarry, you know, where they were swimming when they were kids. Until then, they go back into their own separate ways, and they'll slowly forget, like in a novel, because they'll slowly forget what happens to their childhood. Yeah, very, very good. And even when Bill Devereaux starts reading the letter that Stanley gave him, it was pretty sad, and it does make sense that Stanley did commit suicide throughout the movie, adult Stanley, because he doesn't want to go with them to defeat Pennywise once and for all, because he basically, you know, slit his wrist in the bathtub. And that's one of the things that caught me. Like, he didn't leave the suicide note in blood, you know, on the wall when he was in the bathtub, when he wrote it. So that's pretty odd. And then gets to the beginning of the movie when, you know, so the very first scene, when the accurate scene of the gay couple, you know, Adrian Miller, gets drowned into the lake under the Derry Bridge when they were getting, you know, beaten up by bullies. Until then, Pennywise just saved Adrian Miller out of the lake and starts eating him up, and under the bridge were a lot of red balloons. It was a very interesting beginning scene, you know. And the thing is, it gets a lot of jump scares, you know. Like, there are so many creatures in this movie. Like, wow. Just wow. So anyways, throughout this whole movie, it's so good. It's very thrilling, scary, and it just has lots of humor into it, because Bill Hader just brings it all away, you know. So yeah, this movie is very entertaining. I definitely recommend you watching it if you are really, really into the It novel, or you're really into the It Chapter 1 film, you know. Just give it a go. Watch it while you still can. So yeah, this is a movie I do recommend if you are interested into it. You might have a great laugh, or you might have a great scare, because for a few jump scares in the movie, it made me jump out of my seat. So yeah, this movie's great. I definitely give It Chapter 2 a solid 9 out of 10. It's a very scary, entertaining, laughable film that you can just a very good laugh, so you should definitely give it a watch. So give it a watch while you still can. So this movie is beginning to be the #1 movie in America right now, so check it out while you still can, okay? So yeah, anyways, so that was my discussion about the It Chapter 1 review, so I hope you all enjoyed this review. If you enjoyed it, like this video, comment this video, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more future content like this coming out very soon. So, see you in the next one, guys. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. Take care.